guys, it's Lynnea with a video for Penguin Palace, and today I'm going to be using one of their stencils from their latest release. I'm using the Crystal Snowflakes stencil, and I just love this stencil because there are so many different designs of snowflakes and different sizes. This is the perfect stencil for a lot of your winter and Christmas cards. So to start off with, I took the stencil and I sprayed the back of it with pixie spray. Now, usually when you use pixie spray, you want to let this stencil sit for a minute or two to make sure that the spray dries, so it's just tacky. It shouldn't be wet. But I purposely sprayed a little extra spray, and then I quickly added my cardstock to the back of it and didn't let it dry completely. This was a happy accident that I stumbled across when I was making a previous card. When you add some extra pixie spray, and then when you remove the stencil, you get little bits of the spray that have attached to your cardstock. And you're going to see what I mean here in a minute. You can kind of see it there. I pressed some Versamark over the stencil, and then when I removed it, you see all those extra little bits of embossing powder stuck to where I hadn't allowed the pixie spray to dry completely. I think that this looks so cool and like blustering snow, and I love when the wind blows and the snow kicks up and it kind of swirls around. So I thought that I would use that happy accident again on this card. Now, I did brush away some of the excess embossing powder, and I only left what was kind of circling the snowflakes. Now I'm going to be using some Distress Oxide inks to blend, and this is, I think, my first time doing an emboss resist technique with the oxide inks. And so when I buffed away that ink that I was blending on, some of the ink kind of stuck to the snowflakes. And in the end, I like that look. I really wanted a bright, white, vivid contrast to my background, but I think I kind of like how those snowflakes took on some of that oxide color. So I started at the bottom and I blended on some Seedless Preserves, and then I blended that into Wilted Violet, and I'll use Shaded Lilac at the top. And check that out. You have those extra little bits of embossing powder around the snowflakes, just adding to that wintry background. Now I'm going to spray on some Silver Glitter Dust spray and just kind of give that background a little extra punch with some extra sparkle. I'm going to be creating a full A2 sized shaker card. So I have this little shaker pouch, and these are new to me, but this really made making this full shaker card so easy. So I'm just using some double-sided tape, and I'm going to go all the way around the outside of my frame, and I will just add that tape and then make sure it's pressed on really well. Then I can dump in some of my sequins, and I'm using a mix of gold and silver and white sequins. I thought that would really play well off of my purple background. Now, this is my first time using this kind of shaker frame, so at first I thought that I would dump them into my frame itself, but then I ended up adding them to my background. This acetate window had a lot of static on it. I think it's because my house is kind of dry because it's getting into the winter season, so I have the heat on. So I decided instead to lay the sequins on my background. And then I can just remove that adhesive backing and press this frame over the top. And just like that, I have a full A2 sized shaker card with all these little sequins inside. You do want to make sure that you really press down those edges though, to make sure those sequins don't kind of peek out. I had a couple come out, but then I just pressed that back on, and it was so pretty. I love how this turned out. To finish off my card, I'm just going to take a simple die cut word. It says Mary, and I die cut it from some white glitter cardstock. I'll add a little bit of glue to the back, and then we'll just adhere that onto that acetate shaker pouch and add something heavy on top and let that dry for a minute or two. And then just like that, I have a finished full-size shaker card, and check out that Crystal Snowflake stencil in the background. I just love how this card turned out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you again soon. Bye!